we're tracking for you this evening, but Gen Z-focused fast fashion brand Newme has raised $18 million in its Series A round, led by Accel, with participation from existing investors, include Fireside Ventures and AUM Ventures. Newme will utilize the new funds to expand its omni-channel presence and strengthen its supply chain technology, the company said as well. Joining me now to discuss this further is Sumit Jasoria, the co-founder and CEO of Newme. Sumit, it's great to have you back on the show today. Last time I was in one of your stores, but this time you're here with us via Zoom. But, you know, why don't you talk to us about the technology that you're using to bridge the gap between fashion and innovation in, you know, what is an overcrowded market, yeah? So how are you bringing your customers what they want and ensuring repeat rates at this point?
I think technology is at the core of what we are building at Newme. We are building a very technology-first, data-driven company. And when we decide to bring something for consumers, it's always backed by data, which is mostly around trends, and then supply chain, which is highly nimble and efficient to bring designs very, very fast for consumers. This all happens, Arundhati, on a very proprietary stack of technology, which is built over last 2 years and allows us to churn out many, many designs on a weekly basis for our consumers and ensuring fantastic quality at an unbelievable price points. And it happens online as well as in our offline stores also now.
Right, so affordable, there's quality, and also you're giving your customers a variety of options to choose from every week. Now, you know, last time you'd raised $5.4 million, but now you've raised $18 million. So how do you plan to spend these funds at this point? What's on top of the agenda?
I think the focus remains same, Arundhati. We are going to double down on what we set out the start of this year, which are three big pillars. The first pillar is that we want to expand our omnichannel experience by opening more and more stores. When we met in the start of this year versus now, we have already 7 stores operational across 6 cities of India. And we have already 7 to 8 stores more coming up in the next 4 to 5 months. Second biggest thing is that we want to increase a lot more focus on supply chain in India. We are building a lot more tools to enable a lot of factories in India, which will allow us to churn more and more designs and ensure quality for our consumers across India. And third, which is, I think, the biggest pillar of our business, the entire role of data science. I think today we are one of the fastest companies to adopt data science in our business, from design to identification to even defining a design life cycle, which is, I think, very unique to fashion. And I think we would be one of the first companies doing it in India today.
Right, so lots of things that you're focusing on there, but, you know, the biggest being your, offline stores. Like you said, you've got about 7 operational now. That's about it's been three months since we last spoke. So what's the next target, right? You're also eyeing tier 2 and underserved markets, which are also big on your radar. So what's the kind of reception you're seeing from there?
I think every market is showing us tremendous love. We just opened a store in Dehradun, and I can safely tell you what we set out to do in a month, we did in 3 days there. Okay. And that was completely emotional for us, and at the same time, very overwhelming for us. I think the clear target is that how do we touch every corner of the country in next 2 and 3 years from now? If I have to put some numbers to it, we are planning to go aggressive and open around 40 to 50 stores by end of next year, which is again a humongous task and a humongous ambition, but I think that's what founders live every day.
Absolutely. So 40 to 50 stores is what you're looking at. But, you know, an omni-channel approach is the way to go, right, for the D2C space. So talk to us about how you see the mix between online and offline going forward.
So again, Arundhati, a year back, Newme had only online presence.
Correct.
In last 1 year, we opened 7 stores. The business became from 2-3% to almost 15%, 16% today. And I think in next 12 to 15 months from now, we should be touching on 30% business coming from our stores, even still being online. I think the very important point that I want to highlight is that we are building a very strong amalgamation of online and offline consumer experience. I think the kind of experience we are going behind for consumers will be first in India, which will marry the entire online experience into an offline experience as well.
Absolutely. You have to marry both of those things together. But, you know, let's talk about revenues, right? Let's take stock of that. The last time we spoke, you said you were close to profitability. What are the targets for this year? And how close are you to that profitability number?
I think profitability remains as one of the core fundamental of Newme. But at the same time, today we are in an investment mode, right? I think Arundhati, we have to understand that we are building a company for centuries from here, which will need capital for some more time. I think the idea here today is to solve a lot more fundamentals before we hit profitability. But same time, we are very close to that. But very important to understand here is that how are we going to solve the consumer needs? I think that's what we are going behind right now. And I think the constant focus is that how do we remain very close to the business benchmark and the kind of targets set out to ourselves, but same time, do not compromise on growth. So I think sometimes as an early stage company, we have to let go profitability for scaling the business. I think Newme is a journey where we will take at least 8 to 10 more months to hit that profit metrics, but we can be profitable when we decide to slow down our growth.
Right. So 8 to 10 months is what you're looking at this point to hit that profitability mark. So that's the aim there. But Sumit, it's great to have you back on the show. But thank you so much for joining us. And we wish you all the best on all of these, achievements that you have to do in the next 1 year.
Thank you, Anand. Thanks for having me.